In HTML, images are defined with the image tag, which contains two attributes: source and alternative text. The source attribute defines the URL, or in other words, the web address of the image. The alternative text attribute specifies an alternate text for the image if it cannot be displayed. In other words, the alternative attribute describes the image in words. Note: images are not technically inserted into an HTML page. Images are linked to the HTML page. The image tag creates a holding space for the referenced image. On this slide, you see how an image can look on the web page and in its source code. Images make any web page more vivid and help to understand the page's content, as illustrate the author's thoughts. But if you add an image to your page, you should organize your image for search engine optimization. First of all, store your images in the specialized directory. It is easier for search engines to find the path to images if they are stored in one directory. Manage your images using commonly supported file formats. There are two major image types: vector and raster. Vector graphics use lines, points, and polygons to represent an image. Raster graphics represent an image by encoding the individual values of each pixel within a rectangular grid. Vector formats are zoom and resolution independent. They are ideal for logos, icons, and other images that consist of simple geometric forms and graphics that frequently require resizing and need to be displayed at varying sizes. However, vector formats are not good for complicated images such as photos. In this case, the raster image format should be used. So, raster images should be used for complex scenes with lots of irregular shapes and details. The common used and supported by most browsers raster image formats are JPEG, GIF, and PNG. Differences in image formats are due to the difference in how and which lazy and lossless algorithm are used to optimize the image. The best use for JPEG is the photographs on your website. The best use for GIF is simple web graphics such as buttons, icons, and charts. The best use for PNG is logos, icons, and other images for which a transparent background is preferred. It is recommended to have the extension of your file name matches with the file type. Select the right image format. Different image formats support different features. On this slide, you see which features are supported by each of three universally supported image formats: JPEG, GIF, and PNG. There is no single best format for all images. Each format has its own set of pros and cons. To be sure which file format is the best for your image, save your image in more than one format. Compare the image size and quality and choose an optimal variant that will allow you to deliver the best experience to your users. Choose the suitable image physical size. The image physical size gives information about how much space the image will occupy on the web page. The width and height of the image measured in pixels is named the pixel dimensions. The bigger the physical size is, the larger its file size. Moreover, in the case user screen has the display size smaller than your image natural size, after downloading, the image will be downscaled to the display size. Certainly, you can't ensure that every image will be delivered at the exact display size. However, you should reduce the number of unnecessary pixels to the minimum, especially for large images. Reduce unnecessary pixels. The number of pixels in an image is determined by its resolution. Resolution is measured in pixels per inch. The more pixels are per inch, the greater the resolution. In its turn, the image resolution dictates the image quality. The higher the resolution, the larger the file size. Be sure that you don't use more pixels than it is needed to display the image at its intended size in the browser. Choose the right image resolution for optimizing the total number of pixels. Lower the image file size. The image file size is proportional to the pixel dimensions of the image, as is the number of bytes used to encode all pixels. The fewer bytes a browser has to download, the faster it can download and render content on the screen. Image file size dictates the time the image takes to load. The larger the image file size, the longer it takes to load. Usually, users don't have the patience to wait for a long time through the web page load. You need to reduce your image file size for faster loading. Therefore, you need to make a compromise between your image quality and its file size. Add images that reflect the topic of the page. Images should have illustrative purposes within your page and emphasize your page topic. Therefore, you should place on your web page images that have the same subject as your web page or article. Place your image at the related textual content. Your images should not be stuffed somewhere on your page. Make sure that your image is relevant to content near which the image placed. Choose the right file name. A right file name is very important for search engine optimization. From the image file name, Google will know what the current image is about. For example, if you are writing about the image format and are going to add a relevant image, use for your image a name image formats, and don't use names such as second one that will not tell search engines what the current image is about. Remember that it is recommended to have the extension of your file names matches with the file type. Avoid using generic file names such as image first or picture first, as they don't give search engines any information about your images. Avoid also writing lengthy file names. Include keywords to your file name and alternative text. The file name and alternative text allocations to place your keywords. Place the main subject of the image at the beginning of the file name. Remember that an image related to the text ranks better for the keyword it is optimized for. Avoid stuffing keywords into alternative text. Use brief but descriptive alternative text. The alternative text describes what is depicted on the current image. Optimizing your alternative text makes it easier to understand your images for both users and search engines. Always add an alternative text to your image tag. Avoid writing extremely lengthy alternative text. Avoid also copying and pasting entire sentences to your alternative text. Eliminate unnecessary images. Certainly, a right selected and well-placed image can give more information than 1,000 words, but be sure that each particular image is required to achieve a visual effect. Images often require a large number of bytes. Therefore, you should remove unnecessary images from your website. Supply information about images to your sitemap. This will provide Googlebot with more information about the images on your site. You can use a separate XML sitemap file to list your images, or you can add information about your images to your existing sitemap. The image sitemap structure is similar to the XML sitemap file for your web pages. All the time when you are adding an image to your website, remember that optimization of your images can give byte savings and performance improvements to your website.